Hermes Trismegistus, the Hermes Triune or Thoth, saying, "Through this gate you will be in a star state." Red thread tied, in the wing, wrapped, giver, kick, to turn fairy tale to begin. Once upon a time, one night, a farmer sat under a tree and gazed at the sky and the moon. Suddenly a flash came down from heaven, and the man, saw the god Mercury, that is Hermes Trismegistus, in front of him, and was bewildered. And Hermes said to him, "How did you, O whole god, consent to come down to earth?" "Man," Hermes answers him, "the soil you tread on and cultivate and gives you to eat is a creation of the gods. We are happy to visit our creation and see it flourish and bear fruit. But the universe with its stars, its mysteries, is much more beautiful, my God. Here, this place does not have that beauty," the man told Hermes. And Hermes replied, "It has, but you, man, have not discovered it because you have been unable to look farther." "But my God, here on earth," the man says, "we don't have mysteries like the universe. Here everything is planned. Look how wonderful all these constellations are in the sky." And Hermes replied, "You have allowed everything to be planned, and in the sky there are no constellations." And the man said, "But my God, you who taught astrology and astronomy to the people, how can you say that there are no constellations?" And Hermes repeated, "There are no constellations. On earth they locked your mind into 12 constellations, as they called them, and dictated that you should and should not what you should and should not do. They hid from you what I taught men when the gods walked on the earth. Man was created to be limitless like the universe and the stars. Those who hid it from you kept this information for themselves, but it is missing because I made sure that it did not reach their hands. That's how they assumed most things, and they walk on them." Then Hermes smiled. The man was confused. He thought that God Hermes would know something more, and out of respect he turned his head to heaven and started counting the stars of the constellations. And since it was summer, he could see the Cassiopeia constellation very clearly. Hermes asked, "See those stars?" "I see," replied the man. "It is the constellation of Cassiopeia." And Hermes answered, "There is no constellation of Cassiopeia." The man needed them. He did not even dare to think because the god would guess even his thought. What the hell was the brother of the god of divination Apollo if he did not know a bit of divination as well? He thought from here, he thought from there, and finally he said, "It looks like an upside down M." "Yes," replied Hermes. "Looks like it for you people. All the constellations look like something reminiscent of planet Earth. That's why you say it looks like something. But if you go too close to those stars you see, you will not find the shape that your mind sees above your planet. For this, there are no constellations." Man slowly began to understand exactly what Hermes meant when he was saying that there are no constellations. He began to understand that people liken them to something they are familiar with, but in reality they are something else. There was silence for a few minutes. Neither the man spoke nor Hermes spoke. Suddenly Hermes raised his hand and pointed to a star and asked, "See that green star, man?" "I see," the man replies. "Do you also see that blue one next to it?" Hermes asked. "I see," the man replied. "They are two beautiful, bright, colorful stars," says the man again. "They are not stars," replied Hermes. New riddle for the man, who this time got even more confused. "If you go to them, they are not stars," continued Hermes. "What is it, my God?" the man asked, stuttering. "It is a gate that if you pass through it, you will find yourself in an astral state," said Hermes. The man lost it for good, but Hermes was God, and he couldn't help but believe what Hermes was saying. "You know, my God, we here on earth see them as stars, and if not, how do we know?" Hermes replied, "You know it, man. Your soul, your spirit, what the gods have given you, knows it Man, but you have forgotten all this because you are constantly walking on the earth. If you listened to your soul, if you followed your spirit, you would know, man. The man put his head down, the landscape began to unravel, and he finally began to understand what God Hermes was telling him. You're right, Hermes, we humans have forgotten our soul, and having forgotten it, we have lost it. The man bowed his head, let a few minutes pass, and then in a trembling voice asked Hermes, any chance we'll find it again, God? Then Hermes pointed with his hand to an orange-red star. Do you see this, man? See that lone star in the sky? I see, replies the man. It is Lambadias. That's what you earth people call it, said Hermes. If you want to regain contact with the divine core of your soul, you must first find the way to this star. And the man asked, and how do we get there, my God? Ask your soul, man. Your soul knows, answered Hermes. And my spirit, God, how do I get in touch with my spirit? Am I speaking of that spirit that moves the soul? Once you get in touch with your soul, man, you will find another gate that will lead you to other states. There you have to find the silver samari, the silver saddle, and when you find it on your own, Pegasus will appear. You will put the silver saddle on the back of Pegasus and fly over the square. Pegasus knows where he will take you. Man thought about God's riddle and could not find a solution. He let his gaze wander to the north and saw the Andromeda galaxy, and he smiled. And there, my God, how can I go there? You will ask Pegasus, man. When you fly together above the square, it will take you to a white gate, and there you must search to find a secret key. When you find it and open the gate, you will know the bright stars, bright states of Andromeda. And the man replied, you're giving me a hard time, my God. You on earth want everything ready, replied Hermes, but you have them ready if you ask your soul. The man thought for a long time, and where he was thinking, a sudden flash appeared, and Hermes disappeared. Stop, my God, cried the man with all his might. Won't you help me a little? In the half-light of the night appeared a starry, bright rainbow. The man counted the colors and found 8. The rainbow was leaving the earth and reaching the moon. Suddenly the voice of God Hermes was heard. Follow my path, man, past the gate of the moon. Drink the water of remembrance from the white land, and your soul will remember. That's how you'll transform into an inhuman and find the paths you're on. The man had nothing more to ask, but not a single word came out of his mouth, and in the stillness of the night appeared a bright lightning. Hermes was lost in him, and the man was left to listen to even one word of God, but in vain. God Hermes, that is. He suddenly realized that the 8-color rainbow was still there. Suddenly he remembered that he might have seen this rainbow somewhere before, so he concluded that it had always been there. He just couldn't see it until now. He smiled and took the first step, and he had decided to take this path and wherever it took him. This was from ASTRAL, and I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.